Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I did recording. Life has been very, very busy lately, and it's getting more and more difficult to find time to focus on enterprise architecture radio. But I see that there are quite a few conversations happening on the WhatsApp group. If you have not joined the WhatsApp group still, then you will find the link to the WhatsApp group or WhatsApp community in the show notes. So I was saying life has been very, very busy. Last week, I went to the Indian Institute of Management, Kashipur, in Uttarakhand, and what an experience. As a part of the panel discussion, I was invited for the panel discussion, and after the panel discussion, somebody came up, one of the students, and I'm withholding the names on purpose. One of the students came to me and asked me, what's in it for us? Why do we travel all the way and come for a panel discussion? And I said, there are a number of reasons. One reason is to meet with the students. And he was not convinced. He says that's a lot of, I believe he used the word faff. I think what it means is, so what I was saying is when we meet with new kinds of people, because I meet experienced people, old people, people of my age and younger, obviously, but people who have been in the industry for a while on a regular basis at work. And when I meet with students, it's a very different perspective that I get. And he said that is a lot of faff. And he was talking about a number of things. One is he was saying that even though all the students in an Indian Institute of Management are from different origins and different upbringings and diverse, when they're working on a problem, everyone is thinking alike. So diversity doesn't really mean a thing, is what he was saying. And I said that it does. And when he faces some real challenges and some really diverse people and an environment where diversity is truly encouraged, he'll see the difference. But one important thing that I failed to tell him, I don't know if I told him in so many words, is it's absolutely amazing to see the students beginning their careers with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of energy and a lot of anxiety as well, anxiety related to placements and such, and what's going to happen in their career and how artificial intelligence is going to impact them and so on. So that itself is an experience that I relish. Reminds me of my younger days. They were different. There was very less information than there is today, and it's a very unique kind of challenges that they're going to face. But nonetheless, it reminds me of the promise and the potential that I used to see in my future, and I see that in theirs as well. There were some very interesting questions that were asked as a part of the panel discussion. The first question was, what is one thing that I would not let artificial intelligence do? And the first answer that I gave was, I would have least artificial intelligence in my motorcycle. And while I said this in jest, I actually mean it. Because motorcycling is about experience. It's about, one is developing the skill to operate and to manage a big motorcycle that I have. And the second is, it's my opportunity to disconnect from everything. I don't want artificial intelligence there. I want it to be difficult. I want it to be challenging. I want it to be inconvenient. And I want to experience that. It's one human factor. But that's not it. That's not the only thing. That's on a personal front. At work, I would not want artificial intelligence to engage in things related to people, like hiring other people or promotion of people, or if every once in a while an organization has to let go of people, then that should be managed in the most human way possible and not using artificial intelligence. And there are a number of reasons why artificial intelligence doesn't have the full context. Not yet, I always say. Because artificial intelligence only works on its own worldview, and I'll give you a number of examples. One is, one of my good performers a while ago, was not performing very well. And after a conversation with him, I came to know that he was facing a personal tragedy at home, and it was a family related emergency. And that's the reason why he was not able to focus on work. Now, artificial intelligence would not be able to take these things into context. It would be able to process a ton of information related to emails and schedules and calendars and meeting minutes and such, but it doesn't have the full context. Another interesting question was that, let's say that an artificial intelligence algorithm tells me that I need to split my team and put people on different time zones, and that'll be more efficient. Would I do that? So the answer that I gave was a balanced approach. I would listen to artificial intelligence because the algorithm is truly defining, and I believe I have a futuristic outlook. I don't believe it's man versus AI. There's quite a lot of people who say that I should be afraid of AI, but there's no point in being afraid of AI because you can't resist it. It's coming and there's nothing that will stop it. There's just too much money to be made. It's just way too productive. It's just way too convenient, and you can't really stop it. But you also have to be human. You have to understand that a team is not just a combination of skill sets. It's a lot more than that. It's trust. It's camaraderie. It's friendship. It's years of experience together. It's tons of challenges faced together. It's all of that. So when you break up a team, you break up something more than just a set of skills. And then there is also the context switch cost. When you move somebody from one team into the other, they don't just start performing on the day one. It takes a little time to build that camaraderie again with the new team, to build that camaraderie again with the stakeholders. And then, of course, there is also the topic of burnout and fatigue, because human beings have fatigue. They have sleep cycles. They have family. They have personal things to be taken care of. So if you move somebody into a night shift, you have to think about how it's going to impact their life as well. And I'm not just saying from a humane, ethical, or empathy standpoint. I'm saying even from the business standpoint. If you put somebody in a shift that they don't want to be in, you will have attrition. That doesn't mean that people just hate night shifts. There are, in my experience, I've seen people who enjoy the night shift sometimes because, like, for example, I had someone who had a newborn baby in the family, and the baby was going to keep them through the night anyway. So they prefer night shift because the baby doesn't require constant attention, but every now and then it's going to wake up and you have to feed it, and that can be a short break in what you're doing when you're doing a night shift or work from home. So there are many small nuances that need to be looked at when you are managing a team of people, and when you are listening to artificial intelligence algorithms that give recommendations about how to manage the team. But I would not completely ignore what the algorithm is saying either, because I believe in it. So I would probably do two things. One is not permanently shift somebody into a night shift, and that too without talking to them first. Try to understand what their preferences are. Second is I would loan people for a short period of time into a not so convenient shift, and then later on other people can take turns and he gets relieved or they get relieved, and so on. So and the third thing is it has to be a phased manner. You can't do everything immediately overnight. So there are nuances to managing people, and while artificial intelligence thinks that it's all very efficient and algorithmic, it's more than that. You see, AI is learning from us. And AI, like I say, is never wrong. It's never wrong in its own worldview context. What that means is AI is trained on some amount of data. And this data becomes the worldview for the model. So the only thing that exists for that model is the data that it's been trained on, which essentially means that it doesn't have the complete context. We, as human beings, have a much larger context, but truth be told, I think even we don't have the full context. And that's why I feel that the study of humanities is very important. And I talk about this. I've talked about it in previous podcast episodes also, and I've talked about it in the panel discussion as well, that the study of humanities is important. Humanities means philosophy, logic, ethics, literature, art, even religion for that matter. And religion not from a religious standpoint, but more from a morality standpoint. And I say this because AI models, they enhance your values. So whatever values you have, it will learn from that and it will enhance it, and it's optimized for that, So if your values are not right, then you have a very big problem and the outcome could be very dangerous. And so I encourage everyone to look at philosophy, look at literature and art as well. We study artificial intelligence and technology all the time. It's also a very good read to study philosophy and what Socrates, Aristotle and so on had said. I also study the Hindu philosophy from a morality standpoint once again. I study the Bhagavad Gita, I study the Upanishads, I also study the Purans. And there's quite a lot in it. And I feel that what I am is what my worldview is. So I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe and comment. Enterprise Architecture Radio is not just a podcast, it's a collaboration platform. And my objective is to bring a group of intellectuals together so that they can learn from each other, guide each other, but most importantly, have a ton of fun.